Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and first of all, I just want to say I am so close to 100 subscribers, which sounds like nothing, but I don't know, as somebody that's new to YouTube and really enjoying it, it means a lot, all of you guys that are supporting. If you're watching this and you're a subscriber, thank you so much. But getting into it, today I love doing readings that really make people look at themselves and question, the motives behind their behaviors, how they can improve themselves. And while I think it's great to be on a beautiful, like, self help or spiritual journey, it can also be really exhausting. And sometimes it's okay to just remind yourself you can take a break and just enjoy life and not constantly nitpick about why do you think this way and how can you fix it, because I myself have been victim to that kind of complex where I'm always reading these books about self-help and watching all the tarot videos and picking apart my brain. Why am I thinking this way? What can I do to improve? And it's amazing being the kind of person that's willing to look at the darker side of yourself and think, how can I be a better version of myself and for the people around me? But it's also okay to just take breaks and breathe and enjoy life for a little bit before getting back on that grind, because, it's important to take those stops along the way, or else what's the point of doing all this, self-help and spiritual journey if you're not going to actually enjoy yourself along the way? So I wanted to kind of tone things down a little bit, do an easier reading for you. And this one is just, what blessings are coming in for you? What good news, maybe fun things to look forward to, just so you can kind of, have something to look forward to. I don't want people to be crying during this reading, or at least not crying, sad tears, maybe happy tears. So my hair is right here on the table. I have 3 piles here for you to choose from. Pile 1 with this dendritic agate. I forgot the name of it for a second. Here you go. Pile 2 with the blue lace agate. And pile 3 with this green aragonite. So take a moment, pause the video, figure out which stone you feel most drawn to. I've left timestamps down in the description box below, so you can quickly jump to whichever reading you want to listen to. But without further ado, that's all that I have for you. Let's get right into it. Alright, if you chose the dendritic agate, then this is the reading for you, pile 1. And for what blessings that I see coming in for you, you have energy, rejection, and movement. Now, I feel like all of these sort of make sense, just like the words themselves, like energy, movement. But rejection, I'm like, how is this a blessing? But I feel like for you, you're going to be rejected from a certain path that you're thinking about going down. And I forgot to say, this is from between when you're watching this and 6 months from then. So these blessings are coming in the next 6 months for you. But what I see with rejection is it almost looks like there's a path that you are meant to go down, or that you thought you were going to go down, maybe a certain direction that you were taking your career or your love life, maybe even like physically moving to a different place. But for some reason, that gets stopped, it gets rejected. And this might be heartbreaking to you at first, but I feel like deep down, you almost will have a sigh of relief, because it's almost like you could feel intuitively that even if this is the path that people said you should go down, or it seemed like the most logical path, it's not what your heart was truly desiring, and it's not what was truly meant for your best self. So as far as blessings come, I feel like this is a blessing in disguise. It might seem hard at first because maybe you really had your heart set on a certain outcome for something, but it's actually going to turn out it's a good thing that this isn't happening, because I feel like this is going to open up a lot of other avenues for you that are going to be so much more beneficial than this one thing could have been. Another thing that I want to point out is all your tarot cards have yellow in them, like really bright yellow. And yellow, when it comes to color symbolism and like the chakras, has to do with self-empowerment, confidence, especially with chakras. That's the solar plexus chakra, where our self-empowerment comes from. So I feel like I'm really going to see you either leveling up and feeling more empowered, more confident, more able to actually do the things that you want to do, especially with this Magician card. Or it could be that if you've already been starting to feel that way, you're only going to be feeling more empowered. You're only going to be feeling more confident. So I definitely see things for you going in a very positive direction. At the very least mentally, like I feel like you're going to have a really strong mental fortitude. You're going to be knowing what you want and you're going to be going after it. You're not going to have a lot of fears or reservations about not pursuing a certain thing. If you want it, you're going to get it and you're going to succeed. Now, delving into this left side, with energy and the Four of Wands, I feel like you're going to be building a very strong foundation for your future. And for a lot of you, I actually see you building this with another person. For some, this could be your romantic partner. If you are with someone right now, things are only becoming more strong between the two of you. It's only becoming more stability. For others, it could be maybe there's somebody coming into your life during this time that's going to help you progress more in things. I feel like no matter what this connection is, maybe it's like a business partner, but whoever this person is, they are standing with you to almost become stronger together. Like what I'm imagining is, especially with the energy card, it's like them becoming a part of you. But you guys becoming partners or becoming a team is allowing you to have more energy and you're able to work together better. It's like, imagine if you were like 3 legs of a table and you're trying to hold up this table all on your own. And 3 legs can certainly hold up a table, but it's going to take a lot more energy than if you had that 4th leg. And I feel like this person for you is coming in as that extra stability to help you work towards a certain goal. Now, like I said, if this is your romantic partner, I only see things getting better for you guys. If anything, they will be somebody that you can definitely lean on in a hard time. And they can certainly lean on you back. I feel like this is going to be a very equal partnership, not where one person is taking all the energy from another person. It definitely feels like you guys are amplifying each other's energy and you're stronger together. This could also be friendships that, come in when you really need them. Or, like I said, a business partner. Maybe you've really been trying to get something off the ground, or like a colleague. Maybe you've really been trying to get a project off the ground, but it seems like things aren't really working out. This person is coming in and they are like those fresh ideas, that extra set of hands that are going to be bolstering whatever it is that you're trying to move forward to. So that's one blessing that I see coming in for you. So if you've been feeling like your energy's a little scattered, you're spread a little too thin, you are going to have somebody coming in that is going to help you out. And you're going to have a lot more energy that you can put to not just what you're trying to focus on right now, but like towards hobbies. Like you're going to have a lot more free energy where instead of crashing as soon as you get home, you're like, no, you know what? I'm going to cook dinner, or maybe I'm going to call that friend or hang out with this person or go out, because suddenly you have all this extra energy that you didn't need to use completely holding yourself up, because now you have somebody else to help you out. If it's not another person, it could also just be maybe you're creating better boundaries with yourself or with other people around you, or creating more stability in your life, or just being able to give yourself more time and energy and wiggle room to be happier and more productive and have more energy, if that makes sense. And like I said, with rejection clarified by the 3 of Wands reversed, I already said in the beginning, but just to reiterate it, whatever direction you're going in, this is a general reading, so it's going to be slightly different for everyone, but especially if it's career-wise, or if you're thinking of moving to a different place, for some reason it's not going to work out, but it's for a good reason. So an example that I could give you is, let's say you're working in this job that you're kind of dissatisfied with, you feel like you're not really going to get promoted anytime soon, and so you start looking for other jobs elsewhere, and you find one that you think is really good, but then they reject you, and then you're like, well, that sucks, now I have to stay in this job. But then it turns out, just a week later, you get promoted at that job that you're already at, and suddenly maybe you can work from home, or you have a lot more freedom. So I feel like whatever it is that you're thinking about leaving your comfort zone for, it might not work out, but if it does, it's happening for the best. So a quick message I can give you if you're dealing with that and you're kind of upset about a rejection, or you will be upset about it, just remember everything does happen for a reason. I know a lot of us say that all the time, but we tend to forget it when bad things happen. We kind of think, it's the end of the world, but if you zoom out and look at the big picture, maybe it happened because there is a better path for you. So those are the first two blessings that I see coming in for you. The third one, with movement and the magician. I feel like if you've been really working towards something, towards a certain goal, especially if like maybe you have like a side hobby that you've picked up that you kind of want to turn into like a side hustle, or maybe, for instance, it could be even as simple as like maybe you have a house or an apartment that you wanted to get renovations done on and things have been like really slow, you haven't been able to get work picked up. All of a sudden I see things moving very quickly for you in the direction that you want it to go in. So especially if it's like work-wise or side hustle-wise, things are going to be picking up for you very quickly. There's going to be a lot more abundance coming in, and whatever you're working on is going to be accelerated. Because it's clarified by the Magician, and the Magician card is all about self-empowerment. It's about having all the tools available you need to get things done and being able to do whatever it is that you put your mind to. It could also be manifestations. Maybe things that you've been trying to manifest in your life you are going to be seeing them manifested quickly. Like things that you've been wishing for or hoping for or trying to work towards are suddenly coming in fast. But something I need to warn you about is when we talk about manifestations, a lot of the time people tend to think that it's just your mind and your willpower and wishful thinking. But a good analogy that I heard not so long ago was, think of manifestation almost like if you're really wishing for a cake. The universe will do the part of bringing you all the ingredients, but you still need to put in the work to build the cake. You can't just be thinking, God, I want a cake so bad, and then a cake is just going to show up to your front door. No, you still need to put in the work. Like maybe it's as simple as putting together the ingredients. Like the universe will do half the work for you, but you still need to be willing to put in the work to get those manifestations. Nothing is just going to come to you without, at least a little bit of energy put in. So what I see is you will be getting whatever it is that you've been trying to manifest, but it's still going to take work on your part. So as long as you're willing to put in the work to make those manifestations concrete and let them come in, they are going to be coming to you. I see that it's finally time for whatever you've been wishing for to be coming towards you, and it's just going to take a little bit of work from you. But I feel like that was pretty quick. I feel like I should be talking longer for this, but that's kind of all that I have to say for you. In the next 6 months, I see you either building up strong foundations for yourself that allow you to have more energy throughout whatever you're trying to do, or it's, other people coming in to support you, whether it's love, a business partner, or friends. You're going to be building strong emotional foundations that allow you to have more energy to put towards whatever it is you're trying to work towards. And you will be facing a rejection in the next 6 months. Not sure what it could be. Of course, it's going to be different for everyone. But whatever this rejection is, it is for the best, because I see that that is not the path that you were meant for. There is something better, way better, that is going to be coming towards you. So try not to be too upset when this rejection does happen. But I think intuitively you'll know that it happened for a good reason, because a part of you will be relieved that things didn't work out that way. And finally, with movement, whatever it is that you've been trying to manifest, it will be coming to you. So if you've been waiting for a sign to see, like, is it worth it to keep working on this thing? Should I keep putting my time and my energy towards this thing? Yes, it is. What you want will be coming in hot in the next 6 months, as long as you continue to put work towards it, as long as you continue to care about it and do your best. But don't work yourself into the ground. Things will happen as they are meant to happen, as long as you're being your true, authentic self. So, pile one, that is all that I have to say for you. It was nice, quick, and sweet. I hope it resonated. I hope it makes you feel a little bit better if you've been feeling stressed about anything in life. But yeah, that's all that I have for you today. If you enjoyed your reading, please think about leaving a like or subscribing. I post now honestly I'm posting about 2 to 3 times a week now that I have more time to myself. So if you enjoyed these videos, there's more to look forward to. And if you're looking for personal readings, I do have a link in the description box to my shop if you want to check out those. But that's all that I have for you today, Pile 1. Please, I wish you the best in everything that you do. Bye-bye. All right, Pile 2. If you chose the Blue Lace Agate, then this is going to be the reading for you. Now, how this is going to work is we're basically looking at what blessings are coming into to your life from when you're watching this to the next 6 months. So again, this is timeless. It's not from when I'm posting it, but when you first watch this, what is coming in for you in the next 6 months' time. So starting on the left, you have faith clarified by the Ace of Wands. And I feel like this is kind of saying to me that when I see the faith card, usually it has to do with spirituality, but I'm believing it more has to do with you having faith in yourself. I think you are being rewarded for keeping faith in yourself and your abilities. And with this Ace of Wands, I feel like you've been waiting for some sort of inspiration to come in or some spark. Maybe you've really been trying to find what it is that you're passionate about. And maybe you've been giving yourself like room to think, room to feel and experience different things so that you can find out what it is that you're really passionate about. And I see that faith finally being rewarded. Like suddenly, in some time in the next 6 months, you are going to get like a sudden like lightning bolt, like light bulb moment where you're like, oh, this thing was right in front of me the whole time. You're going to find out what it is that your passion is. And if it's not like what your passion is, it could be like you get more inspiration on how to follow that passion. I feel like for those of you that chose this pile, I'm definitely getting the vibe that you guys are the ones that are trying to find your path in life based off of what you're passionate about and what you enjoy doing, which I'm very proud of you for doing, but it can also be very hard doing something outside the box. And I think the thing that's allowing you to keep pushing forward and not give up is you having faith in your abilities, having faith that it's the right thing for you, maybe faith that you're trusting you're on the right path, trusting your own maybe intuition about things, and you're being rewarded with you're gonna figure it out. Like, it's just gonna take some time. It's not super easy to figure these things out like on your own right away, but with the Ace of Wands, this is like the beginning of Wands, which is fire and passion. So it's the beginning of something. It's that moment where things are set into motion, where you get that inspiration to start something, or you get that realization that kicks off this new path in life. So if you've been really stressing about trying to figure out what it is that you're passionate about, just keep that faith that you have been, because it is being rewarded. You are being blessed with figuring this out in the next 6 months. So that is the first message. All right, so when it comes to strength, clarified by the Nine of Wands reversed, I feel like you, for a long time, have been struggling with mental health issues. I feel like especially stress and worries have been especially hard for you to let go of. This could be fears about social situations, fears that, people don't really care about you or that they might leave you behind. For others, this could be fears that the direction that you're taking in life isn't going to work out. It could be numerous things. Of course, this is a general reading. But one blessing that I see coming in for you is not so much coming from an outside source as it is you going through kind of a self-realization and self-learning process where you learn to find strength from within yourself to overcome these fears. And I feel like these stresses, these feelings have been something that's been a part of your life for a very, very long time. It's been something that's plagued you for a very long time. And, along the way we find coping mechanisms that help us deal with it day to day, but I see you finally going through a self-learning that is allowing you to actually overcome them for good. Like, not just a band-aid over a bullet wound, but you're actually learning how to sew it up, how to stop the bleeding so that this isn't something that plagues you for the rest of your life. I see you gaining a mental fortitude or building strong boundaries within yourself that basically become tools to help you so that you no longer succumb to these feelings. When they pop up, they don't rule over you anymore. You're able to reason with them and reason with yourself and kind of push them away and understand, like, at one time maybe these fears were there to like help protect you. Maybe they stopped you from making certain bad decisions, but now they don't really have a place in your life, and instead they're just kind of tearing you down. They're stopping you from doing certain things that you want to do. They're stopping you from being completely happy because you're still dealing with these issues. And for some of you, maybe you're finally like getting a therapist, or maybe you read a certain book that helps you look at things in a new light. But whatever it is, I see you becoming so much stronger and finally being able to overcome these feelings. So that, I feel like, has been or could have been like a long time coming. It could be that when you're watching this, you're already working towards something like that, or it could be that it's something that happens pretty soon, but I don't think it's going to happen right away. In order to unlearn these things, it's not like you're suddenly you're going to read one sentence and it's all going to go away. It's going to take time, but I see things moving in a positive direction. And I think it's going to be a permanent solution. It's not just going to be a Band-Aid that falls off and you have these moments where you feel like you're completely at the mercy of these fears. I feel like you're finally going to be the one that is controlling these fears. So that is the second thing that I see for you. And finally, isolation. I was kind of confused at first because how is isolation how is that a blessing? But I think I almost want to say that you have people in your life that don't have your best interest at heart. Or it could just be that you've outgrown these people that are in your life. And they're not necessarily bad people. It's just that since you're at a different point in your life now, they no longer are able to help you go in the direction that you want to go in. So for some, it could be like maybe you hung out with people in high school or college that partied a lot, and it's fun getting to go out, getting to have a good time with them. But now you're kind of trying to focus on your career, and being around those people, like the only thing that you used to have in common was partying and drinking and stuff like that. And now it's time for you to find people that are more in alignment with what you want to do in life because they want to do the same things that you want to do. So it's not like I see this being like a sudden tragic, everybody leaves you behind, you've been abandoned, now you're isolated. I see it more as you spending less time around people that are no longer helping you achieve what it is that you want to achieve in life. And it's almost bittersweet, but I definitely don't think it's something that you need to be afraid of, because it's going to happen in such a way that you feel at peace. You feel like it's happening at the right time and it's happening for a good reason. And at most it's like a little bittersweet because maybe you miss these people, but it's not suddenly going to be like a traumatic, like they've dropped you, nobody wants to talk to you. It's like you are consciously taking the decision to take a step back, spend some time aligning your life with in what direction that you want to go in. And with this Page of Wands, I feel like you really are going to be following a certain passion or a certain dream that you have for your life. And it's all starting with this like faith part and this Ace of Wands, where I feel like this Ace of Wands moment is kicking off the next 6 months for you. You're getting this sudden realization about what you want to do. You get this sudden realization about where your passion lies. And because of that, you're realizing what you want your life to look like, what you want to do, where you want to live. And it's almost like saying goodbye to a chapter of your life and saying goodbye to the people that were in it. And again, it's going to be really bittersweet. I think it's going to make you a little bit sad, but bittersweet in the way that you know it's for the best. And it's kind of like graduating high school or graduating college. And you're saying goodbye to all the people that you've made so many memories with, but at the end of the day, you guys are all going in a different direction, and you're leading your lives in the best, most fulfilling way that you can for yourself. And with this Page of Wands is somebody who's very authentically themselves. They follow their passion and they go in the direction that they want to go in. No one is leading the Page of Wands except his own passions, you know? And I feel like that's going to be you. You're going to let your passion guide you. You're going to let your heart and your dreams guide you. And you're going to be going in a very bright direction. You're going to be going on a journey not just of self-discovery, but of enjoyment and personal fulfillment. And things are only going to be looking up for you. And, you know, there may be spots where things feel kind of down, but the way I can describe it is nothing through life is perfectly linear, you know? Think of like the stock market. Even if things are going up, it's still up, down, but over time, even though it's like going up and down, it's still going up overall. And I feel like that's the direction that you're going in, which is a good thing. So, pile 2, that is basically everything that I see for you. I feel like a lot of these blessings are coming within. It's coming from a lot of realizations. It's coming from you building your own personal strength to overcome these fears and these anxieties that you've dealt with for a long time. And you're going on this journey to basically realize your dreams. So I feel like a lot of these blessings are coming from within for you. And I see them definitely coming in the next 6 months for you whenever you're watching this. So yeah, if you were kind of like, these are things that you've been working on, or these have been things that you've been wanting, this is your sign that they are coming to you. But don't try to force anything. Don't try to rush anything. Everything happens in such a way that we can actually learn them. It's like trying to cram through a textbook. You're not going to learn it all if you just rush your way through it. I think that you're actually going through the motions of learning these things so that this wisdom sticks with you, so that this strength stays. It doesn't just, you know, fall away in a day or two. So pile 2, I hope that made sense. I really hope that it resonated and it helped. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed, please feel free to leave a like or subscribe. I post kind of like 2 to 3 times a week now. It's kind of on and off. I don't really have a schedule yet, but if you're looking for more videos like this, then feel free to stick around because I will definitely be making more. And if you're looking for a one-on-one personal reading, I do provide those. There's a link in the description box below so that you can check out my readings. But yeah, that's all that I have for you today, pile 2. I truly wish you the best in everything that you do. Bye-bye. Alright, pile 3. If you chose the green aragonite, then this is going to be the reading for you. And this is now the 3rd time that I am trying to film this because for one reason or another, I have lost my save file of your entire reading that I already did. So, getting into it, I'm sorry if it doesn't sound like I'm super enthusiastic because I'm basically like relaying the information to you for the 3rd time, but I'm going to do my best to still give you the best explanation of your reading as possible. So, I feel like for you, pile 3, anxiety is something that has really ruled over you your entire life. It has stopped you from allowing yourself to pursue things that you were curious about or excited about. It has stopped you from making new friends or going down certain paths that you wanted to go down. It has stopped you from being your true, authentic self. And the blessing I see coming in for you is not something coming from an outside source. I see your blessing is you're finally overcoming these anxieties that you've dealt with all your life. You are finally surrendering to the fact that this is something that you're living with. This isn't something that's going to go away. And as much as you try to distract yourself and keep your headphones in so that you don't need to hear those thoughts of fear in your mind, nothing is going to make them go away permanently. All you can do is learn to live with them. And the first step to doing that is surrendering to that fact, is actually taking the time to listen to these thoughts and figure out ways of like, okay, I hear these thoughts. I know they're not going to go away because I've dealt with them all my life, but how can I understand them better so that I can live with them, so that even when I do hear these thoughts, I can kind of recognize it, understand it, accept it, and then let it go away so that they don't stop you, you know? It's like you're walking up this mountain and you have this monkey on your back, and the monkey is your anxieties. And the monkey is trying to like pull you down this entire time that you're walking up this mountain. And the monkey's not going away, basically. The monkey is sticking with you. But how can you learn to live with the monkey so that even when it's trying to pull you down, you can still keep walking, so that you can make it to the top of the mountain despite the fact that you have them? Because what it comes down to is anxiety. It's not just thoughts, it's also chemical imbalances in the brain. And just because you learn how to cope with them, you learn how to live with them, doesn't mean they're going to go away. But those coping mechanisms allow you to keep going even though you deal with them. They allow you to keep pursuing what you want to pursue, and they don't let those anxieties stop you. And I think for a long time, these anxieties have stopped you, and you feel like you haven't been able to live life to the fullest because of them. But I'm here to tell you that even if you are still living with them, you're gonna learn to not let them stop you. So I feel like for a long time you've been living with this false, facade of control. You've been holding on with an iron grip and distracting yourself and thrusting away these negative thoughts and these anxieties because, all right, as long as I can pretend like I'm stable, as long as I can hold on as tight as possible, I can just keep pushing through life. I'm not gonna let them rule over me. But it's time for you to actually address them. Because the only way that you can have true stability, where you can let yourself relax instead of feeling on edge 24/7, is to actually have compassion for yourself and treat yourself as if you were a close friend or relative that was dealing with this. Like, instead of yelling at yourself or being mad at yourself for being a victim of anxiety, it's like you can finally address yourself with compassion and say, all right, I know that we're going to have to live with this, but how can we work through it together? How can we overcome this? And for some of you, you might need to reach out to a friend or a family member to deal with it. Maybe you've been possibly thinking about going to therapy to deal with it, but whatever it is, maybe it's even like a book. There is going to be some way that you finally learn certain ways to deal with this. Of course, I'm not a licensed professional, so I can't tell you certain ways to deal with it. I think you're better off, reading books written by professionals, or actually going to a professional, or simply talking to somebody that actually knows you to help you get through these things. Because living with anxiety is extremely difficult, and it's so saddening to me when I see other people not being able to live life to the fullest because their fears hold them back. But like I said, this is a blessing because in the end, I see you finally overcoming it. And the blessing is you're going to be learning to live with these. Even if you don't completely eradicate your fears, they're going to get smaller and smaller until it's kind of like a tiny little devil on your shoulder that you can just ignore. You're going to be able to finally move through life and flow through life with these fears, but they're not going to rule over you. They are not going to be steering the boat. You will be. And the way that I see you being able to do this is by actually finally having compassion for yourself, by being a friend to yourself and being able to lean on yourself. So, I really hope that I explained this well. I feel like through your reading, I felt such brain fog. I felt so clouded, and my camera was shutting off. All these things were happening, and I feel like that really speaks to the fact that living with this has finally gotten to the point where you can no longer go about things the way that you have been. It's no longer working for you. And not only has it stopped you from doing certain things in life, but it's getting to the point where it's basically crippling you. And until you're finally able to address them and face them head on and work through them, it's only going to get worse from here. But I don't want that to scare you. I do see you getting over them. I see you working through them and learning to live with them in a good way. But it's a part of, a journey about learning these things. And it's going to take time. But I feel like you have some really good guides on your side. And not just that, I think that you might have good people in your life that, maybe you've never opened up to them about these things, but they would be willing to hear. And especially if it's people that care about you, nobody's going to want to see you struggle. And if you've been afraid that people are going to judge you, or they're not going to understand, or maybe they'll look down on you for having these fears, again, it's just in your head, which is kind of a funny way to say it, especially since this reading is about anxiety. But basically, this reading is going to be different for a lot of different people because it is a general reading. But what I have to say to you is you don't need to do it on your own. Even if you don't want to talk to friends or family about it because it's too personal, maybe it's as simply as like going to a school counselor or talking to people online, like a therapist or something. But I see you finally being able to work through them. I think this is something that's really been holding you back for a long time, but it's no longer going to be doing so because you're finally standing up and you're saying that you want better for yourself. And it's scary finally having to face them, but you're willing to do it. And I think you're extremely strong for having to deal with these and be willing to work through them. So, pile 3, I truly wish you the best. I really, really hope that this reading sounded okay. I mean, I've literally got probably like a million jump cuts in this, and this is the 3rd time that I've said this now, and I don't know, I feel very foggy. Like, it's hard for me to get my thoughts in order, which is the complete opposite of the other 2 readings today. So I'm sorry if pile 3 sounds a little weird. I hope it makes sense. But basically the main message that I have to say to you is I see you finally overcoming these fears and anxieties. They're no longer going to rule you, and it's all going to be because of you. You are going to be the one that puts in the work to heal yourself and learn to live with these things. So, pile 3, I hope it made sense. I hope it resonated, and I hope it helped. I truly wish you the best in everything that you do. If you enjoyed this reading and it didn't sound too terrible, please think about leaving a like or subscribing. I post about 2 to 3 times a week now, so if you want more from me, then feel free to stick around. And if you're looking for personal readings, there is a link in the description box to my shop below. So yeah, that's all that I have for you today. I truly wish you the best in everything that you do. Bye-bye.